And it was okay. That is why in the pictures you see today, you find that there were many, many Indian women in their saris participating in the march. I was, it is difficult, not to say it is difficult, but it's important. It's important for us when we are together, even amongst you young people, to speak to one another, to find out about your families, to find out about your background, about many things about you. Because at this day and age, when the books are supposed to be written, when the stories are supposed to be told, there isn't much that can be said because we didn't ask, we didn't inquire about your life or about your circumstances. And in those days, the men folk in the Congress movement weren't very much happy or interested to understand or to know about women. They would write about themselves. As you can see, there are so much of information about our past leaders and our past presidents, but you know very little about our icon, Mam Charlotte Maxeke. I think today our people had to pick up bits and pieces here and there to make up what is missing in the life of Charlotte Maxeke. And the same goes for our icons. And if we are not bold enough or make time enough to write our own stories, and luckily with your generation, you are educated today, you have the resources, you have everything. So you shouldn't be found wanting about writing your own stories like we have been found wanting to write one another's stories. So Rahima lived, when we left for exile, Rahima was left behind. Dr. Ike Musa and she carried on with the struggle of the Transvaal Indian Congress with their comrades, with the late Dr. Dadu. And when I came back from exile, it was so unfortunate because we got so busy bringing back the ANC that was unbanned that we couldn't make time. We spoke on the phone now and again. I promised that I would come and visit. By that time, Rahima had many ailments and she was sickly. After 2 years of our independence, I think, Rahima died. And so today we are standing here at the graveside honoring her, paying homage to her for the work that she has done diligently through great sacrifice, because I know that there wasn't always enough to go around in their household when she was growing up. And she would walk from one factory to another factory, organizing and mobilizing the workers and attending to their needs and listening to their complaints and trying to persuade the bosses to give them more pay and all of that. But I think Rahima would be very happy where she is to know that the younger generation, as we see you around us and many others in the country, has taken up the call of gender-based violence and the call of all these other ills that is about to confront us. And I think Rahima would be very happy to know that this generation, the women of today, condemns and rejects with the greatest contempt what has happened over the past few weeks here in our country, what was going on, and the people that tried to usurp our government, our country, our people, taking advantage of the poverty and everything that is lacking in their lives that make them to have a better life. That advantage was taken, and hence the women of South Africa should be saying, we reject with the greatest contempt what has happened, and in their name they should never allow something like that to happen again. It is now in October coming. October next year will be Rahima's centenary, and we would call upon our people to commemorate her centenary and to make the whole year a centenary year for Amina, for Rahima Musa. The call is now going out that this is what should be done in the year of women of fortune. Yeah, women of fortune, yes. And to make the year 2022, October, it will be a centenary year, starting October. So that is what is in the future. And also to say that Rahima is, I'm sure, very happy where she is, to know that young women here in our country has taken up their issues, has placed it in front of government, has actually forced government to look at what is happening with gender-based violence, especially, and to know that something is being done, although it was forced on government, and although at a late hour when so much wrong has taken place. But also to say that women must continue to look at their own lives. What is it that they understand, that they want for themselves? Do they really know what they want for themselves? And I think they know that they want a better life, that they want to prosper, that they want to move upwards. But I also want to say that women must be aware that you have a struggle here in front of you. You have a great struggle, a worse struggle than we had. We had one enemy. We had one enemy. You have many enemies. You have the enemy of poverty, the enemy of violence against women, children, and the aged grandmothers that are being raped. Your enemy is housing, shortage of housing, of education, the poorest education that has ever been known. And I do believe that our education is not up to standard. And those and others, these are the enemies that you have to fight, many of them. But you are lucky. In a way, you are fortunate because you have the resources today. You just have to penetrate where the resources are. You have to also organize yourself. And it doesn't mean that a great movement will bring the cures that you are looking for. And I also want to say that there are many, many women that is not known that are doing wonderful things in the townships, looking after so many things that they do for themselves and for others. So we are a great nation of women that know where your foundation was laid. And I think, as far as I can see, you are building on that foundation. You are building on the values of Mama Helen Joseph, of Mama Albertina Sisulu, of Lillian and Goy, and of Rahima Musa. Continue to build on that foundation, continue to be strong, and continue together with your spouses and with your partners to build your children's lives, be good examples to them, take care of them, be careful how you behave in front of them, that you do not give them bad examples. So this is the nation that you are preparing for the future, a nation that you can be proud of, that South Africa can be proud of. And I also want to thank the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation for the initiative that was started, of the many names that have come in that they've called for and that have been given. And of course, I also add my voice to say that if there are more names that you know about, and don't hesitate to call on me, to ask me also to assist you with the names that you are having, to verify them. So I want to say thank you to the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation for that initiative. And I want to say thank you to the Ahmed Foundation for having these young people, so many of them, that you are mentoring, and that we should be able to mentor as well. I'm also glad to see some of our comrades here, and I welcome you also. I should have welcomed you from the beginning as a mother, but thank you for coming, thank you for joining us, and let us be inspired by the memory of Rahima Musa, the memory of every other icon that is lying in their graves, and let us emulate their values, the values of honesty, the values of hard work, the values of integrity, the value of caring for one another. There are so much pain and hurt and agony in our world, in our country. And I also think I need to say that we need to thank and congratulate the women of the front line who was at the front of the pandemic. COVID-19 has taken so much of our people. So many have died, friends, relatives, comrades, and so many others, and all over the world it's the same thing. So we can only congratulate those that have been in the thick of it, the doctors, the nurses, the health workers, every conceivable person that was in the front line, and the soldiers, our female soldiers, our police women, our everyone that has been taking care of this pandemic. So thank you very much. Let us leave here. We are now going to Master Sulu, our icon, to pay homage to her site. Thank you so much.
Auntie Sophie. Thank you so much, Auntie Sophie. I'll now call on Natasha, Rahima Musa's daughter, to say a few words.
Good day, comrades. I greet you with the universal greeting, Assalamu alaikum, which means, may the peace and blessings of the Almighty be with you. Thank you for honoring our heroines, Auntie Sophia, Mam Lillian Ngoy, Helen Joseph, and the thousands of women whom we have not acknowledged and should. These women displayed the kind of unity we lack today. Without their bravery and perseverance, we would not have ascertained the freedoms we enjoy today. However, much still needs to be done. As women, we still have not reached the equity as espoused in the Constitution. During this corona crisis we are experiencing, I would like us to spare a thought for all our mothers who are taking care of our children during these trying times, where everyone is facing hardships financially, mentally, and emotionally. Most of all, not forgetting our frontline workers who are working tirelessly and putting their lives on the line daily to serve our communities. We thank them all. May the Almighty grant us all the strength and patience to cope with this pandemic physically, mentally, and emotionally. Amen. Once again, on behalf of the Musa family, I would like to thank the Sophia and Henry de Bruyn Foundation and the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation for honoring my mother and all women on this Women's Day. We thank you. Can I say this? With my father. Okay. I know this is a Women's Day commemoration, but I would like us to have a moment's silence for my beloved father. Dr. Hassan Mohammed Musa, also known as Ike to his comrades, he sadly passed away on the 27th June 2021 at the age of 97 years. He was also a freedom fighter and treason trialist. Thank you.
We are now done here. We'll just lay flowers, and Auntie Sophie will be the first person to lay flowers, and then everybody else can follow. And then we'll be moving to the other side at Masi Sulu's gravesite. Thank you, guys.
The Ahmed Kathrada and Sophie and Henry de Bruyn Foundations honoring women of fortitude. They are embarking on a trail of fortitude, a journey that will trace the stories of several female anti-apartheid struggle icons. At the Avalon Cemetery, the program focused on unveiling the list of names of women who participated in the 1956 Women's March to the Union Buildings on August 9th. At the Newclaire Cemetery, the program focuses on paying homage to our democracy defenders, as they put it, and builders. Live visuals there. We will keep close tabs on that story. Let's take a quick break, get you more news in a short while.